All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to class once again. It's another privilege to be here this morning while we are waiting for others. Oh, it's afternoon already. Interesting. While we are waiting for others, let's bring out our writing materials as usual so we can document this session properly. Please take your time to reach out to your colleagues and those you think they should be in this class as we are preparing to start. We don't like to waste our time. You're welcome to class. Sit. Okay, Favor. Christy Favor, you're welcome, ma. Please kindly reach out
Thank
to some of your colleagues that you've been attending together to also join us as well. So we'll not be waiting for them. All right, so let's continue why they will join us. We are going to look at the concept of job this afternoon. Overview of job analysis, job design, and practice. Concept of job, overview of job analysis, job design, and practice. This is one critical aspect of human resource management that HR managers need to pay attention to. You can see my screen, type 11 in the chat room. You are welcome, Mr. Emmanuel Afolabi. So if you can see my screen, please type 11 in the chat room. I want to be sure if we all can see my screen. I believe we can all see my screen. I'm not seeing anybody responding yet.
Yes, I've responded. I had typed 11.
Okay. All right, introduction. In the context of work, a job can be understood as a set of tasks and responsibilities that contribute to the overall functioning of an organization. It's a specific role with defined duties that need to be filled by an employee. That's the introduction of our the tasks and responsibilities. Task and responsibility. After then, we look at the contribution to organization and specific role when it comes to job composition. Every job involves a specific set of tasks that need to be completed These tasks can be routine or complex, depending on the nature of the job. Responsibility encompass the broader duties associated with the role, which may involve managing tasks, projects, or people. Look at those keywords. It may involve managing tasks, projects, or people, which means if we are handling any projects, people involved in this project, they are very important to the success of that project. Look at the contribution to organization. Each job plays a part in achieving the goals of the organization, whether it is generating sales, providing customer service, or designing software. All jobs contribute to the overall success of the company. All right, this is where the team and then the organization comes in. Every single role in a particular organization has a major role to play to the organizational success. So whether it's generating sales, whether department is generating sales, those that are managing customer, and those that are designing software, they have a major role to play in the overall success of the organization. So let's look at the specific role. A job is distinct from other positions within the organization. It has a defined set of expectations and requirements. There are usually a clear understanding of the hierarchy and how this role interacts with others. So skills and knowledge. Every job requires a certain level of knowledge, skills, and ability. That is KSAS to perform the task and fulfill the responsibility effectively. So skills and knowledge. Every job requires a certain level of knowledge, skills, and ability to perform the task and fulfill the responsibility effectively. I mean, we understand the fact that when it comes to job composition, when it comes to skills and knowledge in the area of recruitment to get things done in organization, there are specific skills and knowledge required for that person that handling the role to have or to possess before they can handle their role or responsibility well. So work environment. Job can exist in a various work environments, ranging from office settings to factories, hospitals, or even remote work location. The physical and social aspect of the workplace can be a factor as well. And we look at evolution of jobs. Jobs aren't static. As technology and business needs change, the task responsibility and required knowledge is also important for a job can evolve over time. Okay, this is talking about job evolution. Change is constant. There's nothing you can do about change, which means in any way you find yourself as a human resource manager, definitely change will happen. You don't have control over that. Even people you are working with or people working with you at some point, they change their character, they change their attitude towards work. So it's very important that we understand that jobs aren't static, all right? And change is constant with that. So let's look at the continuation of job composition. Compensation and benefits. This refers to the pay and benefits offered in exchange for performing the job. This refers to the pay and benefits offered in exchange for the performing the job. Pay can be a salary, hourly wage, commission, or a combination. It can even be a stipend. So benefits typically include health insurance, paid time off, retirement plans, and other perks, as case may be. So when it comes to compensation and benefits, these are the things that we should look out for in compensation and benefits of a job. When you are hiring somebody or you trying to get people to do job for you, maybe based on contracts or something, these are the questions that we ask you. Okay, what is the salary look like? Are you paying us hourly? Or is it by commission? Or any form of payment involved? The conversion will be before the person getting the job. So performance standards. These are the expectations for how well the job duties and responsibility are fulfilled. These are the expectations for how well the job duties and responsibilities are fulfilled. Performance standard can be quantitative, e.g., sales targets, number of errors, qualitative, e.g., communication effectiveness, problem-solving skills. I mean, when we look at the quantitative, it talks about what we can measure, what we can see, maybe through numbers or anything. But when we talk about qualitative, these are the things that we cannot see through just being soft skills that you can, literally discover by those who performing the job. And we talk about communication, effectiveness, problem-solving skills, advancement opportunity. This refers to the potential for career growth within the organization. Advancement opportunity. Okay, what are the advancement opportunity attached to this job role? Some jobs offer clear paths for promotion to higher position with more responsibility and compensation. I mean, it's obvious that sometimes when bidding for promotion in your organization, you expect this promotion to come with some benefits. Because this is what advancement opportunity is talking about. Other jobs may have limited advancement opportunity. Other job may have limited advancement opportunity. So let's look at the role of job in organization success. The role of job in organization success. So it brings skilled workforce. It brings skilled workforce, competent workforce. They are full of skills. They are capable to perform their duty and responsibility, increase productivity. Right? This is what we should look out for. When we talk about organizational success, increased productivity will be the major thing that we are looking out for. These are the benefits attached to it: employee engagement, reduced turnover, and many more. So we look at the role of job in personal success. This is related to individual now. We look at financial security. When you are working with an organization that is, paying your salary timely, and all your benefits attached is being, given to you at the right time, you feel that the job is secured, and this will bring financial security. So skill development and career growth. Every single person working out there, they want to feel, more developed, and they are fulfilling their career goal they've set for themselves over the years. So these are the role of job related to personal success. It brings skill development and career growth, sense of purpose and identity. Sense of purpose and identity. Recently, I was talking to a colleague of mine, and I asked this sensitive question. I asked him that, okay, this place where you are working, you said the pay is actually, they are paying you well. But the question is, are you feeling this sense of purpose as a person? Do you think where you are working at the moment, there's this fulfillment that is coming to you? He couldn't answer the question. So I said, okay, this is an assignment for you. Look at the environment. Look at those you are working with. You really enjoy what you are doing at the moment. So if you are not enjoying it, it means you are just getting paid, and you are working for that organization. So sense of purpose and identity is very important when it comes to the role of job in personal success. And we look at socialization and networking. There are some people that they don't know a lot of people, I mean, where they are working before, but because of opportunity where they are working at the moment, they've met a lot of people. They've gone for conferences, they've met different kind of people from different backgrounds, from different, ethnics and the likes. And that alone gives joy sometimes, that you are meeting people that you don't have access to anywhere outside your job. So let's look at the ideal scenario and beneficial relationship. When organizations prioritize creating good jobs that's well designed, offer growth opportunities, and provide a positive work environment, it leads to a win-win situation. All right. When organizations prioritize creating good jobs that are well designed, offer growth opportunity, and provide a positive work environment, it leads to a win-win situation for the organization and the person involved. Employees feel valued and motivated, contributing to the organization's success, which in turn allows the organization to offer better compensation, benefits, and development opportunity, further propelling personal success. However, it is important to note that this relationship isn't always balanced. Some jobs may be unfulfilling or lack growth prospects, hindering personal development.
Conversely, a toxic work environment can negatively impact employee well-being and morale, even if the job itself offers good pay. So this is what I said earlier. I had an opportunity to be talking to one of my senior colleagues a few days ago. That should be 2 days now. And where he's working at the moment, he's really enjoying himself anyways. But he said there's issue coming up that he's not really, getting along with some other things other employees are doing in this organization. And these are the top management, which means he didn't really have that access to correct these people. So sometimes you may get a good pay where you are working, but is that environment not toxic, for you? Because it will definitely, come with negative impact on your well-being. And mental well-being is very important when it comes to productivity in any organization or in personal success. Moreover, the role of a job is significant for both organizational and personal success. By understanding this interconnectedness, both individuals and organizations can work towards creating a work environment that fosters mutual benefit and success. So let's look at job analysis. Under job analysis, we have job description, where we have title, position, location. Number 2, we have duties, reporting. Number 3, we have machine, workplace, and environment. In job specification, we have number 1, education, work experience, skills. 2, we have responsibilities, training. And 3, we have personal and emotional characteristics. This is our learning outline for this job design. Introduction to job analysis, method of job analysis, stakeholders in job analysis, sources of data, job description and job specification, creation of job description and job specification. Introduction. All across the globe, jobs are very important to individuals. I mean, we can stay on this for some minutes. We all know that the reason why we are attending this class is the fact that our job is very important to us, and it contributes, to the growth of individuals. All right. So when we look at the importance of job in the life of individuals, we discover that it's something that we need to take more seriously, both in organizational level and related to personal success. So they help to determine standard of living. Number 1, places of residence. Number 2, status and even one's sense of self-worth. I mean, sometimes some people want to be identified with a particular organization. If at all, if the pay is not that much, imagine when you are in an environment whereby you have opportunity to introduce yourself and you just tell somebody that, or they ask you to introduce yourself and you say, I work with Microsoft. I mean, people will look at you and feel like, oh, these are the people hitting money from Microsoft, which means it brings sense of self-worth to you. All right. Number three, they are important to organization also because they are the means of accomplishing organizational objectives. And lastly, traditionally, organizations used to define job in a rigid way. So explaining job analysis. Job analysis is a systematic method for dissecting a job to understand its various aspects. Job analysis is a systematic method for dissecting a job to understand its various aspects. Job analysis is the process of studying and collecting information relating to the operations and responsibilities of a specific job. It involves gathering detail about tasks, duties, skills, outcomes, and work environment to create a detailed job description. It's essentially an investigation into what a specific role entails. Job analysis is a valuable tool for organizations to manage their human resource effectively, improve job performance, and achieve their organizational goals. So let's look at the advantage of job analysis. What are the advantages of job analysis? Clarity in job roles. Number 1, clarity in job roles. I mean, this aspect is very important. As human resource manager, there must be clarity, all right? There must be clarity in the job you are giving out to people so they can perform effectively. And we have effective recruitment and selection. We have training and development. Dr. Benito has explained a lot about training and development. We have performance appraiser. We have career planning. We have job design and redesign. We have legal compliance. And lastly, we have organizational performance. So let's look at the process of job analysis. Understanding the purpose. Understanding the purpose. I mean, we know the importance of purpose. If there is no purpose of working in a particular environment, you will just be doing anyhow. So, but when there is a clear purpose, what you are working on part time, there is clear objectives, goals that you want to achieve in a particular organization. There is a way you maximize your potentials. There's a way you harness your competency. There's a way you harness your potential to get the job done. So you can learn how to reserve your energy because there's a clarity of purpose of what you need to achieve. So selection jobs, we have collecting data, we have analyzing data, we have developing job description and specification, validating information, documentation, and maintaining and updating. Those are the process of job analysis. All right, so process of job analysis in well-detailed, understanding the purpose, define the purpose of the job analysis, whether it is for recruitment, performance evaluation, training, or job design. In selecting job, you must determine which job to analyze based on their importance, uniqueness, frequency, or potential changes. All right, in selecting job, you must, find a way to determine which job to analyze based on their importance. I mean, there is order of priorities. There's order of priorities. Okay, what are the priority list we have for this particular job? What are the things that we need to, to get done faster? What are the unique things attached to this particular job while we are selecting people for it? Frequency and potential of change in that particular job. Collecting data, gather information using various methods such as interviews, questionnaires, observation, and work diaries. And we look at analyzing data, review and analyze collected data to identify the key components of the job, including tasks, responsibilities, skills, knowledge, and qualifications. We are continuing with process of job analysis. Develop job description and specification. Based on the analyzed data, create a detailed job description that include job title, 1, duties, 2, responsibilities, and qualification, including reporting relationships. Sometimes when there's no job description about somebody reporting to another person, there will be a conflict. So it has to be well developed and give a clear description and specification of job. Also, develop job specification outline that qualification that also develop job specification outline, the qualifications needed, skills needed, and experience required for the job in that area. Validating information. Verify the accuracy and completeness of the job analysis. But verify the accuracy and completeness of the job analysis information with supervisors, employees, and other relevant stakeholders. Documentation. Document the findings of the job analysis process, including the job description, job specification, and any other relevant information. And in maintaining and updating, regularly review and update job description to ensure they remain accurate and reflect any changes in the job or organization. We spoke elaborately about change, that it is very important we all adapt to change. Flexibility and adaptability, they are the ingredients, for surviving and thriving states as a person. When it comes to maintaining and updating the job description, it has to be frequent, all right? So you can measure the accuracy and if it is reflecting in the job or organization. So we look at the observation method. Observation method. We have observation method, interview method, and questionnaire method. In observation method, these are the direct observation. Observation is a method of job analysis to observe and record behavior, event, activities, task, duties, when the worker or group engaged in doing the job. All right, observation method can be effective only when the job analyst is skilled enough to know what is to be observed, how to analyze, and what is being observed. I mean, look at this job analyst. The job analyst himself or herself need to be skilled enough to know what to be observed per time, how to analyze it, and what is being observed. Interview method. Interview method is a useful tool of a job analysis to ask questions to both incumbents and supervisors in either an individual or a group setting. Interview includes structured interviews, unstructured interview, and open-ended questions. Questionnaire method. This involves using structured questionnaires to collection about the job incumbents, and all manager fill out questionnaire about the necessary knowledge, skills, and ability for the job. HR compiles the answer and publishes a composite statement of job requirements. This method produces reasonable job requirements with inputs from employee and managers and helps analyze many jobs with limited resources. Stakeholders in job analysis, company management, top performers who have a good understanding of the position and who know how to do the job effectively, what tasks need to be completed, and at what frequency, and what is critical to perform the job successfully. The supervisor to whom the employee will report, the human resource manager, business partner, advisor, or consultant, current employees who will be affected by hiring the new employee, a recorder or facilitator who is unbiased and has no current or past connection to the job position. You may look at this last statement about stakeholders in job analysis. So when it comes to job analysis, you need to hire somebody from outside that will not be biased about the report. I mean, somebody that is not connected to the organization at all. So they can give unbiased reports. They can give clear reports. So it won't look as if that they want to offend somebody by the reports they are giving to organization for their growth. So let's look at sources of data for job analysis. We have organizational charts, job announcement, position description, direct or indirect, e.g. review or video or observation, input from management, employee or a relevant subject matter expert, obtained through interview or via questionnaires. An additional option for collecting data is the diary method, where a job incumbent keeps a diary or a log of daily activities. Information collected under job analysis. Nature of job required in the concern. Nature, size of organizational structure, type of people required to fit that structure. I will say that again, type of people required to fit that structure. A structure has been laid, so it's also important to look at those that will fit in for that particular structure. If we bring someone that will come and destroy the structure, it will draw the growth of organization backward. So the relationship of the job with other job in the concern, kind of qualification and academic background required for jobs, provision of physical condition to support the activities of the concern. So let's look at the role of job analysis in establishing effective hiring practices. For those that will venture into a specific area in human resource management when it comes to hiring. Number one, identify key resource area, setting selection standard, and come back to identify key success area or key performance area. Job analysis process helps in establishing effective hiring practices. Job analysis process helps in establishing effective hiring practices and guides manager in identifying the selection criteria required to deliver the expected outputs. Let's look at identifying key results areas, key responsibilities area, or key results areas. such as knowledge, technical, communication, and personal skills, mental aptitude, physical and emotional ability to perform a particular task. Those are the things that are very important we need to look out for. Different jobs have different requirements. Different jobs have different requirements. I mean, somebody that needs to be at the level of top management, it is more important to notice than, be aware that that person will need more of critical thinking in order to make the right decision for the organization. So we must understand different jobs have different requirements. Therefore, the process needs to be performed every time when there is a requirement to fill the job opening. This is basis for development questionnaires, devising interview questions, and setting selection test papers. The information in the form of scores or grades can then be used for hiring process to know the most qualified person for the role. Right, so setting selection standard. Job analysis also helps managers in setting certain standard for selection process in terms of educational qualifications, work experience, expertise, special skill sets, unusual sensory abilities, specific career track, certifications and license, and other legal requirements. This helps in identifying the basic requirements that make a candidate eligible for a particular post. So which means while you are checking the educational qualification of that person, you must also look at the work experience, how expert this person is, the special skill sets he possesses or she possesses, and unusual sensory ability. So specific career track record as well is also important. And now look at the certifications and licenses and other legal requirements. I mean, for instance, we are here to get the certification as human resource managers, all right? If you are bidding for a particular job in an organization now, they will look at, your certifications. They want to see when last did you, upgrade your CV in the area of certifications aside your experiences and some other special skill sets you possess. So this helps in identify the basic requirements that makes a candidate eligible for a particular post. So let's look at identify the key success area or key performance area. The process also helps manager in determining the key success area or key performance area. These are performance measurement tools that are used by companies around the world to measure those aspects that determine success of a job, such as organizational goals, individual goals, and the action required to achieve these goals. This is about comparing the actual results delivered by an individual with preset success factors, analyzing the performance. Once through, the whole process may require few changes if achieved results are around the set standard. They may require a complete change if there is a huge gap between the expected and delivered results. So important notes. A thorough and unbiased job analysis process can help organizations source right candidates, hire the most suitable, competent individual, and set appropriate selection standard. I mean, as a HR, as human resource manager, these are the things that we should look out for. Don't bring down your standard because you have a favorite candidate in any organization that you have opportunity to hire someone. So a thorough and unbiased job analysis process can help organizations source the right candidates. I mean, leave all this, we are not from the same place. Okay, this person is not a Christian. This person is not Muslim or whatever. When you set a standard as HR, as human resource manager, hiring people for a particular role or a job, you must look at the standard of that organization in order to hire the right and the most skillful set of person for that job role. So let's look at job description and job specification. Job description and job specification. The output of job analysis and job description and job specification. Please, if you can hear me, type 11 in the chat room as we proceed. Can you hear me? Type 11 in the chat room. So let's look at job description. It's an organized factual statement of job content in the form of duties and responsibility of a specific job. The preparation of job description is very important before a vacancy is advertised. It tells in brief the nature and type of job. All right, I had an experience with one of my friends long time ago. He applied to a particular organization, and it was so funny that there was no a particular job description. They told him to submit his CV, that they would check his ability and competency. It's so funny. So these are the things that we need to look out for first before we advertise that there's a vacancy in a particular organization. All right, because these are the things that, these are the details that will tell the brief nature and type of job that you want people to come and apply for. This type of document is descriptive in nature, and it constitutes all those facts which are related to a job. Advantages of job description. Number one, it helps the supervisor in assigning work to the subordinates so that he can guide and monitor their performances. It helps the supervisor in assigning work to the subordinates so that he can guide and monitor their performances. It also helps in recruitment and selection procedures. It assists in manpower planning. It's also helpful in performance appraisal. It's helpful in job evaluation in order to decide about the rate of remuneration for a specific job. It also helps in chalking out training and development programs. Elements of job description. Number one, title, designation of job, and location in the concern. The nature of duties and operations to be performed in that job. The nature of authority, responsibility, and relationship. Of, we have different leaders who are the people you are reporting to as you are assuming the position in that organization. Necessary qualifications that are required for the job. Relationship of that job with other job in the concern. The provision of physical and working condition or the work environment required in performance of that job or job description. We have job title, former position title. We have report to the job title. We report to position title or title position of report. Job overview. Provide a brief first sentence description of the role, what success in the position looks like, and how it fits into the company or organization overall. Responsibilities and duties. List the essential duties required to carry out this job. List the essential duties required to carry out this job. List them in order of importance. List them out in orders of priorities. The most important, the next one that is important to the list. Use complete sentences. Start sentences with verbs. Use the present tense. Use gender neutral language rather. Qualification, education level, experience, specific skills, personal characteristics, certifications, license, and physical ability or fitness. Job specification. It's a statement which tells us minimum acceptable human qualities which helps to perform a job. It's a statement which tells us minimum acceptable human quality which helps to perform a job. Job specification translates the job description into human qualification so that a job can be performed in a better manner. Job specification helps in hiring an appropriate person for an appropriate position. Advantages of job specification. It is helpful in preliminary screening in the selection procedure. It helps in giving due justification to each job. It also helps in designing training and development programs. It helps the supervisors for counseling and monitoring performance of employees. It helps in job evaluation. It helps the management to take decisions regarding promotion, transfers, and giving extra benefit to employee. Element of job specification. We look at job title and this designation, educational qualifications for that title, physical and other related attributes, physique and mental health, special attributes and abilities, maturity and dependability, relationship of that job with other jobs in a concern. So job specification templates, we have job title, former position title. The job title will report to position title or title this position report to, job overview, provide a brief first sentences description of the role, what success in the position looks like, and how it fits into the company or organization overall, required experience. Specify the needed years of experience and area where necessary. Required education, list the expected educational qualification. Required certification or credentials, list required certifications, membership, and license where needed. Required skills, list all associated skills. Personality traits, identify all. Demands, be clear on work demand, e.g. time, traveling, work overtime, if any, and others. So let's look at the job competency analysis. Job competency analysis. Please, if you have any question as we proceed, kindly unmute from your hand and speak, or drop the question in the chat room. If you have any question, as we proceed, drop the question in the chat room or unmute from your hand and speak up as we proceed to job competency analysis. So job competency analysis. Job competency analysis is a systematic process used to identify the essential skills, knowledge, abilities, and other characteristics needed for successful performance in any specific job. All right. It's essentially a deep dive into what makes someone truly excel in a particular role. Competency is the major thing we need to look out for when we are hiring somebody to come and take up a role in that organization. All right, you need to look at their core competency aspects. How competent this person is, will this person be able to perform the role excellently? I mean, these are the traits that will determine how, competent this person, is, and how this person will excel in that particular job role. Why conduct a job competency analysis? You have to look at improved hiring, effective training and development, performance management, PM, and succession planning. Improved hiring, effective training and development, performance management, and succession planning. That's why conduct a job competency analysis. Step involved in job competency analysis. We have preparation, we have data collection, we have data analysis, we have developing the competency framework. Step involved in job competency analysis. Preparation, define the purpose and scope of the analysis. Is it for a new role, revising an existing one, or creating a training program? Select the specific jobs to be analyzed. Data connection. Utilize various methods to gather information about the job. Subject matter expert interviews. Talk to supervisor, experienced employees in the role, and other relevant stakeholders in order to share their experience and also contribute to what you need per time. Questionnaires and survey. Distribute surveys to get a broader range of perspectives on the job requirements. Job shadowing. Observe employees' performing their tasks firsthand. Observe employees performing their tasks firsthand. Document review. Analyze existing job description, performance appraiser, and training materials. Step involved in job competency analysis continues. That's data analysis. Organize and analyze the collected information to identify key themes. What are the core duties and responsibility of this job? What technical and soft skills needed, e.g. like communication, teamwork, are essential for the success of this job? What work environment factor, physical demand, collaboration need are relevant? Developing the competency framework. Translate the findings into a clear and concise competency framework. This framework should outline the key competencies categorized as core, all right, technical and behavioral. Define each competency with a clear description. I mean, we can overemphasize on this clear description. You have to describe the job so it can bring clarity, and the person, taking up the responsibility to get the appropriate approach to that particular job. Establish different level of performance for each competency, describing what good looks like at different stages. Include behavioral indicators, observable action or behaviors that demonstrate the presence of a competency at each level. Who uses job competency analysis? Who uses job competency analysis? We are the one, human resource professionals. They use this framework for recruitment, training and development, and performance management processes. Hiring managers rely on it to screen resumes, conduct interviews, and make informed hiring decisions. Trainers utilizes it to design and deliver targeted training programs to address skill gaps. And of course, employee as well. Understand the expectation for their role and identify areas for self-development and self-capacity building. Job competency framework templates. Job title, job summary, core competency. A brief overview of the job includes its main purpose, key responsibility, and the overall contribution to the organization in two to three sentences. Number 3, we have core competency. These are the essential skills and knowledge applicable across most jobs within the organization. List 3 to 5 competencies and provide a brief description of each of those competency. Competency 1, competency 2, competency 3. Optional, add more core competencies if necessary. Technical competency. These are the job-specific skills and knowledge required to perform the duties of this particular role. You list 3 to 5 technical competency and provide a brief description for each of those competencies. Competence 1, competence 2, competence 3, and optional, add more technical competencies if there's a need for that. Behavioral competency, still the same thing. This describes the desired attitude and behavioral for success in this role. Behavioral competencies and provide a brief description for each. Competency 1, competency 2, competency 3, and more behavioral competencies if necessary, which means we also need to be familiar with the needful competencies for each role as HR manager. Job competencies framework template 3. We have competency level. This section defines different level of performance, e.g., if the person is a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, or expert. For each competency, you can use a table format with the following columns. So competency, beginner, describe what acceptable performance looks like at this level. Intermediate, describe what proficient performance looks like at this level. Advanced, describe what highly skilled performance looks like at this level. And lastly, expert, describe what exceptional performance looks like at this level as well. Behavioral indicators. For each competency level, beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, provide specific behavioral indicators that demonstrate the competency and that level These are observable action or behaviors that an employee would exhibit, or that would be the major the major indicator that will determine the experience or the competency of this particular employee. Development resources, optional. List any resources available to help employees develop the required competencies, such as training programs, online courses, or mentorship opportunities. All right, so we look at job design. Now, job design. If you have any question as we proceed to job design, kindly unmute from your hand and speak. Or you want to say something related to this particular topic or the topic we just
Nothing for now.
ended now.
Nothing for now.
Okay, so let's proceed to job design. Job design. Job design. Section objectives is to explain, discuss, review, elaborate, and practice. We explain the concept of job design, discuss the techniques or methods for job design, review issues in job design, elaborate factors affecting job design, and lastly, practice job design. So introduction. Job design follows job analysis. E.g., it is the next step after job analysis. So job design is the next step after job analysis. It aims at outlining and organizing tasks, duties, and responsibility into a single unit of work for the achievement of certain objectives. I will say that again. It aims at outlining and organizing tasks, duties, and responsibility into a single unit of work for the achievement of certain objectives. It also outlines the method and relationship that are essential for the success of a certain job. In simpler terms, it refers to the what, how much, how many, and the order of the tasks for a job or jobs. Introduction continue. Job design essentially involves integrating job design essentially involves integrating job responsibilities or content and certain qualifications that are required to perform the same. It outlines the job responsibility very clearly and helps in attracting the right candidate for the right job. It outlines the job responsibility very clearly and helps in attracting the right candidate for the job the person is taking. Further, it also makes the job look interesting and specialized. It further also makes the job look interesting and specialized. So definition of job design. According to Michael Armstrong, job design is the process of deciding on the content of a job in terms of its duties and responsibilities. Job design is the process of deciding on the content of a job in terms of its duties and responsibilities, on the method to be used in carrying out the job in terms of techniques, systems, and procedures, and on the relationship that should exist between the job holder and his superior subordinates and colleagues. So let's look at good job design consideration. Good job design consideration. Employee inputs. A good job design enables a good job feedback. A good job design enables a good job feedback. Employees have the option to vary tasks as per their personal and social needs, habits, and circumstances in the workplace. Employee training. Training is an integral part of job design, contrary to the philosophy of leave them alone. Job design lays due emphasis. Okay. Job design lays due emphasis on training people so that are well aware of what their job demands and how it should be done. Work and reset schedules. Job design offer good work and rest schedule by clearly defining the number of hours an individual must spend in his or her job. And look at adjustment. A good job design allows for adjustment for physically demanding job by minimizing the energy spent doing the job and by aligning the manpower requirements for the same job. So what are the benefits of job design? What are the benefits of job design? Number one, job design is important because it allows you to stay relevant and create jobs that fulfill both the organizational and employees need or employee needs. It helps in alignment. When you can align both company and employee values and needs, you can create something beautiful, something great. Because successful job design means your organization experiences lower turnover and absenteeism and higher productivity. Employee motivation. Employee motivation is the intangible ingredient needed for a productive workforce. Employee motivation is the intangible ingredient needed for a productive workforce, where design role and responsibilities help your organization create motivation for employees. I mean, sometimes motivation that goes beyond a reward in form of money. All right, a reward can come in such a way of promotion or nominating the person for a training. While there are ways to motivate employee intrinsically, reward incentives, bonuses, internal factors like job satisfaction and worth the satisfaction are worth the investment. Staying current. The global landscape for work is changing every day, including motivational factors and employee values. Job design allows you to stay current and competitive to attract and retain top talent and give your employees the opportunity to succeed. Job characteristics. Let's look at job characteristics where we have skill variety, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. So looking at skill variety, every job in an organization has its sets of skills needed. This means if you're an employee, you should have the necessary skills to perform that work efficiently and effectively. Therefore, skills are very essential in job performance. Task variety. If you're an employee, you always enjoy it when you are part of a company's project from its commencement to when it is finalized. You will be discouraged if you do work halfway and you are replaced by any employee. Both of you will not be pleased at the end of the day. Task significance. This means that how a certain job is important or brings a difference to an organization. For example, if you are doing a certain job and bring more income to a company, you are sure to be honored as an employee, and that will encourage you to do more as an individual. Autonomy. The ability for employees to decide on their makes work more enjoyable. The ability for employees to decide on their job makes work more enjoyable and satisfactory, dictating an employee's increasing frustration, and one questions him or herself about the ability in performing the job described. Let's look at the feedback. To increase the productivity of any company, you need workers to be competitive. To increase productivity of any company, you need workers to be competitive. They have to be updated. I mean, they must they must be up to date. This can be achieved by giving feedback individually or according to department. This will motivate workers to work more efficiently. Furthermore, you can show your workers how customers rate products or services from your organization. This is also another factor to improve productivity in the organization. Let's look at the job design process. Job design process. Do an assessment of current work practices. Do a task analysis. Design the job. Implement the new job design gradually, and get feedback and reevaluate job design on a continual basis. Job design process. Do an assessment of current work practices. Is job design needed or visible? Discuss the process with the employees and supervisor involved and be clear about the process or any changes or training that will be involved along the way. Do a task analysis. Examine the job and determine exactly what the tasks are. Consider what equipment and workstation features are important for completing the task. Identify problems areas as the case may be. Design the job. Identify the method for doing the work or rest schedules, training requirements, equipment needed, and workplace changes. Coordinate the different tasks. So each one varies mental activities and body position. Be careful not to under or overload the job if you are expecting efficiency and effectiveness. Implement the new job design gradually. You may want to start on a small scale or with a pilot project. Train employees in the new procedures and use of equipment. Allow for an adjustment period and time to gain experience with the new job design. I mean, you can permit learning on the job in order to increase the productivity of the person involved with that particular role. Get feedback and reevaluate job design on a continual basis. Make any necessary adjustments. Be sure to get feedback from all those involved, because feedback is an indicator to know the process to follow, what to eliminate, adjust, or increase. Job design approaches. Human approach, engineering approach. Job design approaches. We have human approach and engineering approach. Okay. Human approach to job design. This process recognizes the need of designing jobs that are rewarding financially and otherwise, and interesting at the same time. According to this approach, jobs should gratify an individual's need for recognition, respect, growth, and responsibility. Job enrichment, as popularized by Azabag research, is one of the ways in human approach of job design. It classified this factor into two categories: the hygiene factors and the motivators. The hygiene factors and the motivators. Motivators include factors like achievement, work nature, responsibility, learning and growth, and many more. That can motivate an individual to perform better at the workplace. All right. Hygiene factor, on the other hand, include things like working condition, organizational policy, salary, etc., that may not motivate directly, but the absence of which can lead to dissatisfaction at the work. This is talking about flexibility in the place of work. I mean, if you remember when there was first subsidy and people do not have capacity and resources to go to a place of work, we have some organizations that allow their staff to be working from home. I think they give them maybe 2 days off that they can work from home, and they have to resume back to work for the other 3 days. So that stands as a hygiene factor. the other hand, or women approach to job design. So let's look at the engineering approach to job design. According to this approach, the work or tasks of each employee is planned by the management a day in advance. The instruction for the same are sent to each employee describing the tasks to be undertaken in detail. We look at that word, in detail. Full information will be given to the employee in order to perform his or her role well. The detail include things like what, how, and when of the tasks along with the same or with time deadlines. The approach is based on the application of scientific principles to job design. Work, according to this approach, should be scientifically analyzed and fragmented into logical tasks. Due emphasis is then laid on organizing the tasks so that a certain logical sequence is followed for efficient execution of the same job. This approach also lays due emphasis on compensating employees appropriately and training them continuously for work efficiency. So let's look at job design techniques. What are the job design techniques? We have job enrichment, job enlightenment, job simplification, job rotation, job loading, and job crafting. Job enrichment. Job enrichment refers to creating opportunities for an employee to find greater satisfaction in their current role. In the previous slide, we made mention about how to have sense of fulfillment in that particular job you are in, or in that particular role you are playing in any organization. This is what job enrichment is all about. Is to create opportunity for an employee to find greater satisfaction in their current role beyond the salary they are getting, incentive, stipends and the likes. Another thing is this could be done by grouping related tasks to create role clarity, helping the employee build relationship and role significance by introducing new partners and stakeholders or finding opportunities to provide developmental feedback and career pathing. This also comes with additional pay for the work done, which helps workers to work more effectively as they know their task. Job enrichment advantages. Job enrichment advantages. Employee improves on different or new work skills. Work becomes enjoyable. Once employees enjoy his or her job, you can see the fulfillment. They'll be happy to work. They'll be eager to work because they are motivated. They'll be self-motivated even before you motivate them. The company's productivity grows. It increases productivity of the organization. Additional responsibility ends boredom reduction. You'll not be at work and feel you're not doing anything. These are the things that we need to look out for as human resource manager. What are the programs we can, infuse into the job enrichment to make employee feel motivated even without you motivating them? So motivate workers to work hard. This motivates workers to work hard or work harder. Workers can make decisions on their own. We spoke about take ownership of the job, of a job you are handling or the job role. When employee take ownership of his responsibility, there is a way they make decisions on their own. Give room for them. Let them have room to make decisions on their own. Of course, they will need you to guide them. But you need to a bit stay away and give instruction from afar. But make sure there is a guideline and rules attached to anything you want them to do for you. Disadvantage: work may become more leading to poor results. Other workers may not agree with the technique, which will cause disagreement between workers. Employee may be unprepared for this technique. Let's look at job enlightenment. Job enlightenment refers to adding responsibility to an existing role. This enables the employee to learn new skills and work on new tasks related to their current area of work. For example, if you have an appliance technician who routinely work only on refrigerators, you may expand their role to include washing machine, because we can look at it and this is still electronics. I mean, somebody working on appliances, maybe refrigerator, should be able to work on washing machine as well, because they are in the same category. It can apply to white collar work as well, such as accountant that only does expense reporting, enlarging the position to include assisting with general ledgers. All right. This breaks up the monotony, allows the employee to build new skills and add variety to keep them engaged. While you are trying to make the job easier in order to fulfill the purpose of job enlightenment, you also need to look at how competent these people that we're handling such, how competent they are. Let's look at job enlargement advantages. We have increase in pay with additional duties. An employee receives an additional salary. The cost of employing more employees will reduce as current workers can do more duties. Increase skills level of employees. There's no way you will tell an employee to handle a particular thing that is not used to without, giving them the right tools needed for that particular job or for that particular task. So they need to be trained before you even expose them to that particular job or extra work you want them to do in that organization. Disadvantage: workers may become dissatisfied after a period. The cost of training employees high. So the cost of training employee may also go up. Let's look at job simplification. Job simplification is the act of removing tasks or responsibility from a role to make it more specific. You could choose this for a couple of reasons. First, the job has taken on more responsibilities over time and it's no longer manageable for one person. Or second, you want to create a role focused on a specific task to become productive and completing them. When job is bulky, there's a way it can reduce productivity. So what job simplification does is to help you narrow their energy or to preserve their energy on a particular task per time. All right, so it has to be simplified in such a way that it will not become bulky and they will feel dissatisfied along the way. This is an additional job design method where an organization makes the job easy, simple, and fast for its employees. This method is applied to achieve the performance of many duties in a short period. When job is simplified, it will increase the how fast the job will be done and how easy it will be for the person handling the job. So job simplification advantages: employees are not overworked, less time in performing duties, less cost of training, employees become more efficient. Disadvantages: dissatisfaction because work is repetitive. Workers are not able to learn new skills. Employees are not able to decide by themselves. So let's look at job rotation. This method is used in an organization to enable employees to have a fast ability to work in different departments or areas. A worker can gain skills or different which makes him or her flexible in the organization. All right, this method is used in organizations to enable employees to have a fast ability to work in different departments or areas. A worker can gain skills of different which makes him or her flexible in the organization. Flexibility is very important in this job rotation. All right, flexibility is very, very important. When you rotate employee from one department to another, they add more skills. It might not be their core aspect, but learning from others, joining other people to learn from what they've been doing over the times, also give them sense of belonging, that I can also handle this to an extent. So job rotation brings this kind of advantages. In job rotation, you move employee to different job in the organization in order to enable them to develop new skills We all know that to develop new skills is the most hardest thing, but to make it easier for employee, you can rotate them from one department to another in order to gain relevant skills as they are building up their skill set, gain experience and learn about new roles. I mean, this will also help them to mingle with other colleagues in that department. Employees doing job rotation are uniquely positioned to cover absence for employees in other departments and develop an understanding of the full operation of the organization. This could prove useful in succession planning, minimizing skill gaps, and keeping employees engaged and adaptable to ever-changing roles. So job rotation advantages: increase productivities, motivate the employee, the performance of the organization rises, improve the skills, attitude, and abilities of workers. Employees don't strain so much. And what are the disadvantages? Number one, workers become anxious. Employee may not have a main skill due to job rotation. If you are moving employee from one department to another, if it is not stable enough, it can bring discouragement, and he or she might not become expert in one aspect for years or for months. So employees may not have a main skill due to job rotation. These are the disadvantages of job rotation. But when we look at the advantages, it can be encouraging to do job rotation in most flexible and a better way. So tips to effective job rotation to enhance organizational effectiveness. The purpose and objective of job rotation need to be clear and well defined as you are putting people in different positions or different departments. The purpose must be clear. It has to be stated out. All right, train employees before shifting them to new departments. So they have to be trained before you move them to another department. While you are training them, I mean, this is process of onboarding. While you are training them, they are getting familiar with the environment even before getting to that particular department. So they must be trained. Carefully monitor the performance of every employee. Give them feedbacks at every single step they are passing through. Keep out politics and politicking. Keep out politics and politicking. Job loading. Let's look at job loading. Job loading is redesigning a job to benefit the employee's need for purpose in their role by adding tasks like decision-making authority. Job loading is redesigning a job to benefit the employee's need for purpose in their role by adding tasks like decision-making authority. This helps employees feel a sense of ownership in the work. This helps employees feel a sense of ownership in the work. Once employees take ownership of what they are doing, there's a way they feel this peace, so they can go extra mile to take up the responsibility well and accurately. So job crafting. Job crafting tends to happen naturally when employees change their responsibility over time. This could include changing the task, the scope of the task, or the amount of internal and external interaction with others. Employees may feel more ownership for a role that they've helped design, so including them in the job design process is helpful whenever a position is flexible enough to allow it. This employee involvement could be as simple as survey or as thorough as an in-depth discussion. Trend in job design, issue in job design. Telecommuting, work from home, job sharing, flexible working hours, alternative working pattern, techno stress, and tax evasion. All right, so factor affecting job design. A well-defined job will make the job interesting and satisfying for the employee. A well-defined job will make the job interesting and satisfying for the employee. The result is increased performance and productivity. If a job fails to appear compelling or interesting, and lead to employee dissatisfaction, it means the job must be redesigned based upon the feedback from the employee. So what are the factors affecting job design? What are the factors affecting job design? We have difference. We have various factors that affect a job design, can classify under three terms. Number one, organizational factors. Number two, environmental factors. And number three, behavioral factors. Organizational factors, environmental factors, and behavioral factors. So we are closing. Let's look at organizational factors. Organizational factors that affect job design can be work nature or characteristics, workflow, organizational practice, and ergonomics. Work nature, number one. There are various elements of a job, and job design is required to classify various tasks into a job or coherent set of jobs. The various tasks may be planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, etc. And all these are to be taken into consideration while designing a job. All right, ergonomics. Ergonomics aims at designing jobs in such a way that the physical ability and individual traits of employees are taken into consideration so as to ensure efficiency and productivity. Number three, workflow. Product and service type often determines the sequence of workflow. A balance is required between various products or service processes, and a job design ensures this. And lastly, culture. Organizational culture determines the way tasks are carried out at the workplace. Practice and method or standard laid out for carrying out a certain task. These practices of job design, especially when the practices are not aligned to the interest of the unions. Let's look at environmental factors as we are rounding up. Environmental factors affect the job design to a considerable extent. These factors include both the internal as well as external. All right, please. I guess that should be network. If you can hear me now, type one in the chat room. If you can hear me now, type one in the chat room, please. And I want to confirm if my screen is still showing. Mr. Emmanuel, if you can hear me, please type one in the chat room. And please confirm if my screen is still showing. I guess network just bounced us off. All right, so we are in environmental factors. Environmental factors affect the job design to a considerable extent. These factors include both the internal as well as external factors. They include factors like employee skills and ability, their availability and their socio-economic and cultural prospects, employee availability and abilities, employee skills, ability and time of availability play a crucial role while designing of the job. The above mentioned factors of employees who will actually perform the job are taken into consideration. Designing a job that is more demanding and above their skill set will lead to decreased in productivity and employee satisfaction, socioeconomic and cultural expectation. Jobs are nowadays becoming more employee-centered rather than process-centered. They are therefore designed keeping the employees into consideration. In addition, the literacy level among the employees is also on the rise. They now demand jobs that are to their liking and competency and which they can perform the best. Behavioral factors. Behavioral factors or human factors are those that pertain to the human need and that need to be satisfied for ensuring productivity at workplace. They include the elements like autonomy, diversity, feedback. A brief explanation of some is given below. Autonomy. Employees should work in an open environment rather than one that contains fear. It promotes creativity, independency, and lead to increased efficiencies. Number two, feedback. Feedback should be an integral part of work. Each employee should receive proper feedback about his work performance regularly. Diversity. Repetitive jobs often make work monotonous, which leads to boredom. A job should carry sufficient diversity and variety so that it remains as interesting with every passing day. Job variety, diversity should be given due importance while designing a job. And lastly, use of skills and abilities. Jobs should be employee rather than process-centered. Though due emphasis need to be given to the latter, but jobs should be designed in a manner such that an employee is able to make full use of his abilities and perform the job effectively and productively. And job redesign. Restructuring the elements, including tasks, duty, and responsibility of a specific job in order to make it more encouraging and inspiring for the employee or workers is known as job redesigning. Let's look at the job redesign process. These are revising the job content, analyzing job-related information, altering job elements, and many more. Advantages of job redesigning: we have enhanced the quality of work life, increase organizational productivity, increase employees or job productivity, create right person job fit, bring sense of belongingness in employees. All right, so this is the end of our class for this afternoon section. We continue from where we stop by 2 p.m. We'll be notifying on the WhatsApp group for the right information. Thank you for your time.